What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Crashlands. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while. And hopefully, actually, I'm going to go evolve my glutterfly. That sounds pretty sweet. So let's jump back to base. There's a couple things we needed to work on. The glutterfly is the main one. In the previous episode, we had actually accomplished quite a lot, all things considered. We had managed to get ourselves the fishing pole. We had done some fishing. We had also evolved some animals. Things are going very, very well for us right now as far as the game is concerned. There's not a lot of stuff to be concerned about or work on. However, that doesn't mean that there isn't anything to be concerned about or work on. So I'm going to keep on going. It looks like we actually need a whole bunch of squee for that. Did I not plant any squee down here? Damn it. Sometimes I get frustrated with myself. We got squee seeds. Let's go ahead and get to squirk then. A dusk seed. I guess I'll plant those. I don't know. Keep things planted as best as possible. I'm trying to keep these fields nice and taken care of. Perfect. That'll work for right now. Which thing was the... It's probably in this one. There it is. Get that thing crafted. That's going to take us a good minute or so to get taken care of. If I could grow... Actually, that's a really, really good point. If I could grow some of the walker roots or some of the other little things that I needed, that'd be really fantastic. It looks like the possibility of making a Glidopus love balloon. He's embiggened. He becomes swollen with love juices when he sees the Glidopus balloon. You can also make a stuffed Glidopus trophy, should you so will it. That thing's still stomping away. Let's make another hammer and see if we can get a better hammer out, maybe? I don't know. Our hammer, we got a new hammer in the previous episode, but it just doesn't hammer at the specification of hammering, really sort of at the boundary of hammering and damage destruction and things like that I would like. And so anyways, I'm hoping that once it gets done, there we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Damage per second is 210. It's got burn, freeze, and stun. We lose the shock chance, but I think that one's a little bit more acceptable than the one we had previously. So if I can grab that, that's cool. We got the new hammer. We got the helmet. Did the other thing get done? Where's our... There it is right there. So let's go ahead and get this guy swole up a little bit with the glutter net. I got to put him inside of the nest. I may try to make like an outside stable area or an outside unstable area. It doesn't really matter. I don't care about the growing situations of my animals right now. They have not been very helpful. Grow! I'm so excited. This is the best.
It's so big.
Yep. How come he's so little still? I want him to get bigger. Oh, he does get bigger when he comes out of the nest. I feel a little bit better about our glutterfly now. Let's take a look at our quest log and figure out what we want to work on. We got to fish up some batteries. And so... Did he say, he said we could fish up the battery from anywhere, didn't he? Well, that said, I suppose we will go as far out as we can because we need some of these other resources anyways. I'm a little bit concerned. How come that did 13 healing? What did that 13 healing do? I don't think that was a vampire chance because 13 seems like an odd cutoff point for us to get health back. Things are just dying explosively now. I'm going to assume that it's the glutterfly's fault. I think it is. He's got the shotgun ability. We're going to keep the glutterfly rocking because he keeps it rocking. He keeps it rocking. I'm going to keep the glutterfly rocking because he appears to do very, very, very good shotgun damage. And his damage over time has gotten to the point where it is something to be worried about, lauded, and also considered. What's that? There's a house up there. We'll go check that in just a second. Maybe we'll get ourselves a new quest when we go up here. Or it might be a sacred fishing spot of some kind. Oh, it's Grandmammy's house. Did Grandmammy throw her shit down in here? I might just have to fish a lot until I get the thing that I need. They said, if I remember correctly during the dialogue, that they didn't remember where they threw it into the water. So basically, I just had to fish a whole lot. Which gives this a very, very real needle in the haystack type of feeling. Not going to worry about it too much, because I figure we'll probably get it eventually. I don't know if it's more efficient just to go after whatever's closest to the hook the second you throw it in. I don't know if we're going for time versus I'm sorry, if we're going for quantity versus quality here, or if it's worth it to wait it out until you get like 5 things on the hook at a time. That one appears to be good to go. I have a lot of ball snails. I'll tell you that much. Don't bring it up, though, when you take the girl out to the steakhouse. Girls don't want to hear about your ball snails. That's a real affliction, and yes, it does affect us as gentlemen. It does affect us, but the status of your balls, the status of your ball snails, not something to be concerned with during those pivotal loving moments. I wonder how many of these I can line up in one go, because there's a lot of, like, debris and floaty dookie looking shit on radar right now. I mean, I think if you could just throw back in over and over again, that's probably the best way to do it. Do I need more bacon plant right now, or bacon weed, or whatever the hell it is? I don't think that I do. Let's just run around for a bit. We're going to look out for the stuff that makes us nitro. If I could start growing that, I'd like to make another little garden so that the construction of the nitro would be easier. Because I think growing some of these plants that we're having trouble getting our hands on would be a really, really good thing to work towards next. The only downside to the glutterfly is that its fire is a little bit inaccurate. It's got like a lead up time before it hits, but so far that's been just about every mob in the game. It looks like all of the attacks from the creatures that you tame and raise mostly are just copied and pasted from the way that they behave when they're in the wild. And so the windups that they have in the wild are going to be the exact same windups that they have when they're domesticated. That doesn't bother me or anything like that. I bet it probably gets better as time goes along, though. God, this upgraded glutterfly is the shit. I like him so much. His capacity for violence is something to be respected, and also something to be maybe worshipped, possibly. It's only 63 damage, but once you factor in the fact that they're going to be sitting there and taking 10 damage a second for like the next 10 seconds, it turns into a lot more damage than you would have considered initially. I don't even know why I'm killing these right now. Because it's fun and because I enjoy it, I suppose. I don't know why I'm taking so much damage, but I gotta get on top of that shit. These things are really, really painful. That 105 leech that we got going on, though, that's my jam. That is the shit. That is the stuff that champions are. Oh my god, that scared the hell out of me. I forgot that Hugo does that. He randomly teleports in when you're harvesting and he steals nodes from you because I guess he wants to antagonize you and make you even more upset than you already are with him. I don't know. Antagonism is a skill just like anything else, I guess. And learning to make people angry does take some work. You gotta learn what buttons to push. It looks kind of glowy and weird up here. What's going on with this glutterfly field up here? Is this something I should be concerned about? Or like, what's up with the gathering? Yeah, buddy. Y'all like that? I know you did. Here, try another one. Yeah. That'll get us all the glutterfly parts we could ever possibly do. What is that thing in the middle? There's a thing in the middle right there. What is it? This is problematic. There's like a lot of AoE happening right now. Luckily, my own glutterfly deals considerable damage to members of his own species. So he should be able to wrap. What is this? The elixir of sprints. That sucks. That sounds like the sort of thing that a gym teacher would be into. I drank my elixir of sprints this morning. Although I do like running, so I don't know why I said that. I am a runner, so I try not to disparage running. It's a pretty cool habit to have. It's very, very good for you. It gets you out there. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning if you got nothing else going on. That's what it was for me. I don't know. My life has not always been in good shape. And I don't just mean physically. I mean, just like life in general can wear you down sometimes. And I got to the point where, like, I've always had, like, random anxiety in life. But I got to the point right after I went to college where it was so severe that I didn't go outside. I didn't do, like, anything. All I did was I'd sit at home and play World of Warcraft because the outside world was just, like, too much to deal with. And I just didn't want to do it. And usually I'd run out or I'd, like, order a pizza in every single day or something like that. Like one of those $5 pizzas from Little Caesars. And then I just lived inside my own head, you know? Why is this guy not taking damage? I want him to take more damage. Be wounded. Be wounded better, sir. Man, if you can keep these guys chain stunned. Ow! Wasn't expecting that kind of damage. So I don't know. Sometimes I get down about things. Sometimes I get anxious about things. When I do, I try to think of that time for me. that was so much worse. And honestly, I don't even remember what I was getting at here. Sometimes I just talk about things and the shit that comes out of my mouth, I can't really tell what's going on with it. I could definitely use a heal right about now. Man, that thing is tough. Ooh, we got a stun out though. Hell yeah. You don't get that much better a loot, but we do have we got a whole bunch of glutterfly essences. I don't think I need more of them though, unless I do need that guy right there. I'm more excited about that walker root than I am about anything else. That walker root looks like it is going to be a dear, dear friend of mine very, very soon. Yeah, I don't know. If you're dealing with shit, just be aware it can get better. It can get worse, but I think a lot of the time when you're living in the moment, things are like super shitty. You're kind of having trouble seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. As human beings, I think we have a bad habit with that. We tend to dwell in the moment. And when you dwell in the moment, everything in the past always looks brighter and better. And everything in the future always looks darker and more terrifying. And that's really, really simple to explain. It's because the future hasn't been decided yet, whereas the past already has. That's why the past is it's always more comforting to dwell in the past, which is why so many people do it. It's always easier to dwell in the past, because it is concrete. It's solidified. Yeah. This is not something I feel like dealing with right now. This strikes me as something, and also strikes this bush as something that could be potentially dangerous for me long term. I'm trying to get a better pickaxe to get in on that one. When do I get a new pickaxe? I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, we could use a new pickaxe. I think that's one of the few pieces of equipment that we haven't taken care of yet. I tend to do that. I tend to dwell on nostalgia and think of everything in the past as way better than everything right now and everything in the future. That's me to a T. And so before I get into the habit of doing it, I kind of like to cut myself off at the past and be like, you know, the past wasn't that awesome. You hated the past when you were living in it too. It's just that now that it's had its resolution, you have closure on the stuff that happens. It feels safer than the stuff you still have yet to dictate closure on. I'm going to continue picking up dirt and whatnot too. Give me that shiz. It goes in my pack. So if you're in that place right now, hang in there. It does get better. Eventually, you will rock bottom out, and there will be nowhere to go but up. Or you'll have like a good idea, like if you hate your job, you'll have an idea like I did about something you would rather be doing that's maybe a little bit more fun, or if it's not a little bit more fun, maybe just a little bit more lucrative. Because lucrative can be fun. I'm not one of those people that's like, you should get paid to do something you love. Like, I guess man, those tartils, that explosive thing they do is gnarly. It takes up so much space. There we go. What was I talking about? I was talking about something important. This is unfortunate. My train of thought normally has trouble, but I hate it more when it has trouble thinking of important things. We need that femur over there too so that we can make our next little crafting node thing. We might have to use the stun on this guy. We may not have an option. Glidopus hatchling should go down pretty quickly. The tartil larvae there. Little bit more pain and suffering to be doled out to the denizens of this planet. Play-Doh spitting bastards. And I don't mean that they're getting philosophical right now. Yeah, I don't know. Just give it time. It's weird. Don't give it too much time. Like, don't sit around doing nothing, but give it time and be productive simultaneously, and who knows what'll happen. You never know. I started making videos on YouTube because I was depressed, and I wasn't much enjoying life. I was struggling with my major and kind of feeling like a loser because I just dropped my last major because I wasn't doing very well at it. I was feeling like I wasn't going anywhere in life and not doing anything. I just had like a big breakup. It was kind of like it was the crux of my V, I guess would be the way that I'd put it. You know, like when you're wedged in at the bottom of a valley? Well, my valley was shaped like a V at that point, and I was all the way down at the point where the two legs intercept. I don't know. I was like, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of Let's Players and stuff. And sometimes when I say this kind of stuff, people are like, yeah, I'm going to become a Let's Player. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's personalized. Let's Playing makes me happy. I can't guarantee that it'll make you happy. And it doesn't make me happy all of the time, you know? Everything you do in life is going to have sore spots. I know a lot of writers, and none of them explicitly enjoy writing all the time. Like, they get into their little valley periods where they think their writing sucks and they hate doing it. I know people that do costuming, where sometimes they just sit there with the needle and thread just like, this is stupid and I should stop doing this, and they just, like, hate their work. It's part of the process. But what I'm saying is that if you don't like where you are right now, sometimes the best thing you can do is just something new. You know, take a chance on something in your free time. I'm not saying to quit your job and throw a Hail Mary. What I'm saying is, when you get home from work, do something creative, or do something, you know, artistic, or do something that you find to be fun, and then post it somewhere. Let other people see it too. Put it somewhere. And you never know what it'll turn into. I never planned on YouTube becoming a job for me. It was never supposed to be a career. I think that's one of the reasons why I get so disenfranchised with it on occasion, is because I think there's a lot of guys in the YouTube industry who are just like, I've dreamed of being a YouTuber my whole life, and then they finally make it, and this is like their big moment for them. You know, this is their night on stage in front of 10,000 people. For me, it was just kind of a thing that I fell into, and I do enjoy doing it. But I do get disenfranchised with it sometimes, because this is never what I saw myself doing in life. This is never something that I planned. But then again, I think if you made a diagram as to how much of life is planned and how much of it is unexpected and just sprung on you, I think most of us would be kind of surprised with the distribution there. There's not a whole lot of aspects of life that you ultimately get to control. I think that can be frustrating for a lot of us because human beings tend to be control freaks. That's how we limit the amount of anxiety that we go through on a daily basis, is by controlling every variable that we can. But sometimes variables can't be controlled or constrained. They're not always mathematical like that. Either way, though, it's just my 2 cents. We've got nothing left to do here but fish, and so I'm hoping to fill in a bit of time. I may end up doing this off camera. I may just put on a movie later tonight and then just go fishing for a long while and see where that lands me, if we can't pick up what we need right here. We also had that flamethrower, though. We haven't crafted a... Oh, shit, we're about to get glidopied. Yep. An elder glidopus. Jesus, he hit so hard. He hit so terrifyingly hard. Run away. We definitely can't handle that guy. I think we might be outside of our leveled range right now. We are taking some serious hits. I don't actually think there's like defense or armor or anything like that. I think they just stack more HP on you over and over and over again. I'm still not seeing too many walker routes out here either. Nor do I see fishing spots. There's one right there, though. Grab another one of those bones. I don't know if I should be going after the big lumps, or if any of the lumps. So far, a lot of this game seems to be kind of random. There's a giant lump right there. Did you see it go south? I'm going to wait and see if it resurfaces. For just a minute. Yeah, there's a big one right there. I don't know what that is, but I kind of want it. It was a 32-pound devil-tailed slapper. Don't slap me. Being slapped sucks, because then you got that big, like, hand of God imprint on your face, and everybody knows you've been slapped. That happened at school one time when I was in high school. I don't remember what the altercation was over. Somebody was just, like, heated with somebody else, and you could tell there was going to be a fight. Like, you knew they were going to fight. And the one kid stood up to, like, stand up to the other kid. I don't think anybody was bullying anybody. It was just kind of mutual, where it had been, like, building to a head for a while, where they'd both just been giving each other shit and kind of just pushing back and forth. And you know how that kind of high school drama goes when you're at, like, a middle-sized school, I guess. It's where you basically know just about everybody. Where eventually the line in the sand is going to have to be drawn between two people. It's going to happen either way, so they might as well get it out of their system, I guess. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but one guy just goes, "Wah!" And he reaches back and he's pimp slapped the other dude at the outset. And it was just like this stunning, the noise was just like, slap! It was so loud. Like, man, for the rest of the day, he had a big red hand on the side of his face. I'm like, dude, you could have whooped that other guy's ass, but you still have a big red hand on the side of your face. I don't know if that was winnable. He went nuclear with that ish. He went deeply nuclear. I'd be a little bit upset. That would not be my day. Moral of the story, try not to... I want a wat really badly, too. The wats seem kind of cool. They deal a lot of damage, but they look like they're carrying like a laser rifle or something, and that makes me happy. I want one of my pets to have a laser rifle, and I don't think that's too much to ask from life. Sometimes a pet needs a laser rifle. Sometimes you gotta upgrade a little bit. Alright, let's see how many goodies we can get on the hook this time. So close! Ooh, that was a really good one. That was a really, really good one. I'm pleased. I think that was an acceptable amount of flotsam to bring along with us. I don't like fishing, though. Never have. My entire life, much to my father's chagrin. My father, he's very sort of like it. I'm outdoorsy, I guess. I love being outdoors and doing outdoor stuff. I just don't relish killing things. Even fish and stuff. I would do it if I'm hungry, but I can go to the supermarket and get the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just seems... It's not relaxing either. I think that's the other part is I never got the relaxing component out. I just sit there bored. And if you listen to music or whatever, people always bitch and say it scares the fish away. And so then I focus on drinking. And people don't seem to like that either, especially since my family, they're Puritans. They're like almost Amish in that regard. They're teetotalers. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't swear. I've never to this day, in 30 years of being alive, I've never heard my dad swear once. Seriously, I've never heard my dad swear once in my entire life, in 30 years. That just seems kind of crazy to me because I can't go like 10 minutes without swearing. Like, swearing is a huge chunk of my vocabulary. If I don't have it, I just feel sort of linguistically lost. I use it to amplify, to add urgency, and also scale to everything that I do. See, we got a log out of there, but it was like the big floaty. I kind of feel like the big floaty should be more awesome. Oh, we got to stun out. Hold on. There we go. Get him with the... Got him with the wrench real quick. That one looks like it's all tapped out. Just going to keep going northwards. I don't know what else to tell you, Nerd Castle. Hopefully we'll be able to fish this thing out at some point and start a little bit of ye old combat with our dear friend, Hugo Duco, but until we get there, I suppose I'll focus maybe on crafting. We do need a lot more of these over here, too. How much squee husk do I have? Just 30? That is not nearly enough squee husk to make me happy. And so, we will forge more squee in order to bring a smile to my face and fill my life with the glee. Don't worry, it's just me. I make jokes on the internet and make you go tee-hee, hopefully. If I get attacked by mobs, then probably I'll flee with the utmost speed. Try not to have greed. I think greed is a terrible thing. Don't you agree? I don't know. It's hard to find where the line is drawn, though, between... You ever notice how hard it is to draw the line between greed and ambition? Like, which is which and where does one mark line? I'm wondering about that a lot lately. I've noticed a startling trend in myself that I'm not really a fan of. When I was growing up, I was big into kind of punk rock and sort of like anti-establishment and like anti-possessions and kind of anti-materialism and stuff like that. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed a streak in myself where I don't like it much. I don't bring it up very often. But I figure it's safe to do it here on the channel because it's my space, you know what I mean? Like, this is my existence zone, and so if people want to judge me on my own home turf, I mean, I guess they don't have to be there if they want to be judgmental, you know? I kind of view this as being inside my own house right now when I'm talking to all of you. I don't know. I've noticed a greedy streak inside of myself the last year or two that I just don't like. And I don't act on it. At least I try really hard not to act on it. However, it does exist, and it is in there. And it's weird how as I've gotten older, it's become more and more difficult to restrain it. It's kind of like this big Hydra-like beast down in there, chained a little bit. I'm not trying to be poetic either, just saying the way it feels. I don't like that kind of poetical nonsense. I'm one of those say what you mean type of people, and so I don't like being like this. However, since I was raised by a family where I played a lot of sports and did a lot of competitive stuff. And that's just how everybody in my family is competitive. My dad, his brothers, my uncles. Like, everybody in my family is super competitive. And so, you know, I was kind of raised in that way where it's like, if you're not trying to win, then why the hell are you even on the field, you know? And so I think that gave me an overabundance of ambition and not drive. I guess it just made me naturally ambitious and more likely to take risks in order for, like, the big score or whatever. In the late at night, I've been wondering lately where that ends. Like, where does ambition stop and where does greed begin? Is it when it starts to hurt other people? Is that where it begins, where it becomes greed? Or is it before that? I don't know. I think about that a lot sometimes. Because I think YouTube is a business of excess. It really is. Like, it's a business of, like, get it now, get as much as you can. It's kind of a result of that hip-hop culture mindset where if you're not like making the most money or getting the most views or whatever, everybody looks down on you. I don't like that about it, which is why I tend to avoid. People have asked why I don't do collabs and things like that, just because I don't want to be a part of that whole YouTube circle jerk. Like, let's all get more famous. Let's all, you know, hang out with each other for ulterior motives. I don't know. I feel like a lot of YouTubers want to hang out with me just because they want something from me, not necessarily because, you know, they like me or anything like that. It's a slippery slope that you start to dwell on as the channel gets larger and larger and larger. It becomes like this beast that's less and less controllable. Wow. We just got stepped on. We just got stepped on hard. I'm gonna go ahead and stun him up right here. See if that leaves me with a little bit better of an opening to regenerate some health. There we go. Perfect. Perfecto. I always like collabs when they're spontaneous. So, for example, the collab that I did with Warhammer Vermintide was like perfect, because when it's spontaneous like that, you know they just looked at their friends list on Steam and were just like, yeah, let's grab somebody. I like that. Some people be offended by that they're just like the extra wheel. But for me, that kind of removes the chance that there's like ulterior motives and stuff like that and makes it more natural for me. I don't know. I don't like being used. I've spent a lot of my professional career being used and being utilized like a tool rather than a human being. And so I'm very, very biased when it comes to my business on YouTube that way. Now that I control every aspect of what I do every day as like my employment avenue. I don't like being used. Not on my turf. Not on my turf and not like that. Let's get the harvest bomb back out. I think we're not really making very efficient strides here. We got another fishing hole over here. We'll give that a go. We're just about out of time for the day. So I just wanted to say thanks for hanging out and watching me ramble. This is Crashlands. It's a great deal of fun. I like the game a lot. And I think it's not getting a ton of credit right now for being as good as it is. I think it's been marginalized a little bit compared to other games that have come out recently. Indie games and whatnot. So I know we're just fishing and we're just kind of having a good time talking about life and like random things that happen. You know, it's cathartic for me. I like doing this kind of stuff on the channel. And I appreciate you taking the time to stop on by and do it with me. So, see y'all later. This is Crashlands. Check it out down below. Hi do, everybody.